We already know about the coronavirus. It has affected the global economy, dropping it by 4.4%. Mexico dropped by 9%. But all of these red countries have less than 3% of growth this year. Coronavirus cases almost get to the 60 million people, 1.4 million death total, 70 million currently infected. Coal, gas, oil, and nuclear energy demand decreased this year, but tons of medical waste were disposed by COVID.
So I think this pandemic has impacted us in every possible way. I've personally experienced tragedy and suffered losses. So it is an important issue to talk about. The interviews get me to consider the collateral damages of the pandemic, from tourism industry, unemployment, psychological effects, and also it get me to feel um, cooperation and strength within unity. So different cultural approaches led to us certain corners of the issues we did not see at first. We cannot visualize by a single story, so I changed realizing that. My proposal is to set up UV light technology for disinfecting surfaces, liquids, or the air to fight against the coronavirus. According to the headline, UVC light effectively kills the SARS-CoV-2. 9 minutes in liquids, 30 seconds in surface, and airborne in 25 minutes. The target will be to use UVC germinal lamps to disinfect the file surfaces and the ventilation systems of rooms and restaurants and every other place it could contain those viruses. Yet, we recently found some research about these UVC LEDs for sterilization. For future pandemics, as Charlie Ironside, a 30-year specialist in optoelectronics, suggests, a narrow range of our UV wavelengths seems to be safe for humans, while being lethal for viruses. So, many local facilities will install these ultraviolet lamps, and almost all the viruses around would break. People would be concerned about this effectiveness, but if not follow the health measures, they could damage themselves. People will start to develop cheaper technologies, but sometimes there will be fake devices. Healthcare institutions use them on transportation and also in hospitals. There will be robots that will sanitize. These types of technologies, if developed as the UVC-led sterilization as the future promise, would change our routines. Technologies that kill viruses and do not harm our cells will be the best, and definitely for my future version would be a must in every activity to clean myself. For future pandemics, the technology UV light will be at the top of sterilization. Maybe I could be an actor of research, and as a future scientist, I would spread this scientific information for a general audience as a divulgation popular science. Nowadays, the research explains health uses are surrounding these UV light methods of sterilization. Even though it incredibly eliminates bacteria and viruses, if exposed to our cells, it will damage our DNA. On a global scale, there are robots are sterilized without human contact, or professionals clean taking extreme precautions. In economy, It is a new market for healthcare industry. It could prevent future pandemics and benefit society with a precautionary device against invisible enemies. However, there is awareness about this sustainability of race, and there will be a special care and production with this new type of energy and the environment. I think the future of UV light technologies is undiscovered, and future research will approach us to a more safety society within its economy and environment against new viruses.